Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at the B-29 Superfortress. Now this is a very accurate replica of the real one that saw some action at the end of World War II and was responsible for dropping the atomic bomb on Japan that brought the war pretty much to an end. Now this replica has been created by Legion and Whiplash in sort of a joint project, and it is extremely well detailed. Such well detailed that when I saw this on the workshop, my jaw literally dropped. As someone who really appreciates especially World War II type replica designs, this one really took the cake. And what really amazed me even further as we start looking around this design is the wings. Often in Space Engineers type builds, players make the wings far too thick. They don't understand how to actually create the curve on all of them surfaces. But what they've actually done here is use a mixture of half blocks and full blocks and the half slant to create a very smooth transition between the different surfaces of the aircraft. And because of that, it looks absolutely fantastic. Just look at how that curves down into that lower section. Even though you just got these square type blocks to work with, you can really do a lot with them. You can see even more there. So we look at that shadow underneath where the different surfaces have been blended into each other. Now what I really do like is just look how these engine bays come off from each of the wings. They start by building themselves up into the slope, and it just really captures the really sleek smoothness of the B-29. I really recommend that you Google an image of it if you haven't seen it, because they're just such a beautiful aircraft. Now moving over to the next engine, we've got the exact same thing again, but towards the front of it you can see that blue tip that wraps around it. We've got the engine that's been created, well, the propeller that's been created by using the projector block. A great way of doing it, and we can turn the engine on and off without creating too many issues as we're flying with Space Engineers. Now, as we come into the cockpit, something that's amazing about the B-29 is its glass type cockpit, and they've tried to replicate this to the best of their ability here by using cut down blocks, since it's really hard to do with any sort of glass within Space Engineers. And to me, this really does look fantastic for a vanilla build. It looks like what it's supposed to replicate. So as we come over to the other wing, we've got the exact sort of same again, but you'll notice on the center of the hull we have these remote control turrets. Now in the replica, or the real one in real life, these are actually controlled from control seats on the inside, and you can view them through monitors. It was very advanced at the time. Very cool indeed, and it keeps you a little bit safer than having your head stuck out in a ball turret on the top. So as we work our way down the back, we actually enter into these observation windows down the side, as well as another United States Air Force symbol. We've got the rear turret on the lower section, as well as the rear rear control surfaces. Just look at that curve, it looks absolutely lovely, especially the marking on that upper sort of surface as well. And then we've got the rear gunner's seat there with the two Gatling guns. Absolutely spectacular. It looks just amazing. Anyway, let's have a look underneath and we'll have a look at the bomb doors. So this can really haul quite the payload. Look at these bombs in here. We've got some great detailing going on of each of these segments. You can see as these drops, this is going to cause some serious carnage on whatever it drops upon. We'll be doing that very, very shortly. But let's get ourselves in the actual aircraft, and I'm going to enter through the rear area. So we've got this rear little door. We've also got access through the wheel well at the front if we want to access that particular point. So we're just going to pop this hatch down. It's going to give us a little door that opens up very nicely like that. And then once we're in the inside, I'll show you the scale by just going into third person. So you can see it's scaled very correctly as well, if not a little bit too large in some areas. So as we come to the back here, we have access to the rear gunner's seat there, so we can take out any German fighters on our tail or Japs. And there we go. Let's continue moving through each one of these areas. I like how it almost feels submarine-ic sort of in design in the center. You've also got the ball turret gunner position in there as well to control from, and then we have the bomb bay door there, as well as the observation windows I was showing you before. Now in the real one, above the bomb bay, to get from the bomb bay to the front of the ship, you have to go through this long sort of crawl type tunnel. But to save you the pain of that, I'm just going to shoot through it with the spectator camera, because otherwise you'd just be looking at blocks from the side. So we've shot through that. We can spawn ourselves in the other side into the ceiling. Great, that's a bit worrying, isn't it? And there we go. We've got our legs back activated. We've got the weapons control seats, the various navigation type stations, and then we have the cockpit itself. Very, very smooth indeed. We've got some rear systems as well, and we've got the bombardier's control seat here, so he's going to be looking down as he drops the bombs through that particular area there. And then we've got the various piloting seats as well. Let's attempt to take this off. We're going to, number one, fire up all engines, activate the pilot's control. So make sure we've got control of that. Engine should be spinning up. Let's go to third person. Engines are spinning up. As you can see, the runway here is designed for much smaller aircraft, so it might be a little bit harder to take off. And you can see the various controls that we've got along the bottom of the actual HUD itself. So that's the bomb bay doors on the timer. We've got the release program as well as the bomb bay sight. So everything we really need here to navigate through the various systems. So you can see that on them two tabs. Let's access G and I'll look at the other systems as well. We've got cruise control, very simple, auto hover align, landing gears timer, entrance doors, tail skid, hatch, all engines, very simple sort of stuff. Let's begin the takeoff procedure though if we can. So we're going to give it a little bit of gas and we're going to attempt to take it off in this open flat here. Hopefully there's not too many trees. Obviously the turning radius of this heavy craft is going to make things a little bit harder, but since we've got Space Engineers engines we should be able to take it off. So let's move it a little bit more into position here, give it a lot of gas, and since there is Space Engineers engines inside, you can also see that I'm already pretty much got enough lift to take off. There we go, we're maxing out the power on the thrusters and we're doing an extremely slow speed takeoff. Very nice indeed. Let's activate our landing bay systems. So you can see the landing gears are actually opening up. Very nice. Let's check there's not a mountain in front of us. And the landing gears are now being tucked away in the hull. Something that I don't see a lot of designs do so smoothly. Look at that. Tuck them away, close them hatches up. Very nice indeed. And then we've got to access the rest of the systems. Okay, perfect. Let's climb a little bit of altitude here while we can, and let's level it off there. So next up, let's as we're going through these, let's read them out. So we've got the entrance doors that we don't need to activate. We've got the tail rotor we don't need to activate. So let's go on to the next one. We've got the bombing sight, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to activate the program to actually run the bombing sequence. So this is what should happen if I pressed everything correctly. It's not going too fast to mess things up. I've got a feeling I'm going to mess things up. I'm not feeling very confident with this. Let's make sure I actually press the right button. So that's the bomb bay timer block, and that is the release program block. So let's hit number 4. There's the bomb bays opening up. Let's see what these bombs look like when they fall. Oh, it's going to be so cool, this. Been waiting for this for ages. Okay, bomb bay doors are open. Now just to drop them bombs. That's all we need to do now. Turrets are on. Release program is running. There we go. Oh no! Oh god, we nearly hit the bombs on the front of the thing. There we go. Bombs are falling. Oh god, no! We've had a failure in the bomb compartment and we've cut the front of the plane off. Oh, it's all gone wrong. I've got wings going to either side and we're going down towards the ground. So that's a lesson. Turn your inertia dampers off when you're dropping bombs, or else you'll have this very horrific situation. Oh, damn it. I didn't even have time to grab a parachute. So that is all left. That's all that's left of my B-17. Oh, sorry, B-29. We've got some propellers that I decided to float up there. So remember, disable them inertia dampers so your bombs drop correctly. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Check out this creation on the Steam Workshop and have a bit of a blast. No pun intended. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.